From the Gray Man Briefing, this is a summary of recent developments regarding the Second Amendment, cybersecurity, protests, supply chain disruptions, national security, law and order, free speech, censorship, government oversight, and more.
For the third quarter of 2025, this is Update 10 to the Gray Man Briefing summary of recent developments. Across the country, D.C. saw a surge in paid protester requests during the federal takeover. Pharmacies pulled the Charlie 19 needle-borne treatment in Massachusetts, Nevada, New Mexico, while D.C. added prescription requirements. A trans terrorist attacked a Christian school in Minnesota. New York saw Antifa-linked disruption attempts. 40,000 Muslims conducted a march in Michigan. Illinois recorded continued protest, including an anti-ICE riot with officer assaults. In Texas, a Nazi flag was removed from a high school. 4 were arrested during a House chamber protest, and multiple bomb threat hoax were cleared, specifically at a Dallas ICE office. New Jersey removed a Girl Scout troop leader after she declined pride activities. California sees a court ruling on background checks for ammunition purchases, while the 10th Circuit paused New Mexico's 7-day gun purchase wait. Finally, Arizona and Georgia hosted a recurring pro-Palestinian action, and nationally, the FDA narrowed jab eligibility to seniors and high-risk groups, and pharmacies scaled back access. The House Oversight Committee released over 33,000 pages of Epstein-related records, including additional flight logs and the missing minute of the jail video. A NATO chief warns that China will invade Taiwan when Russia strikes Europe, as France orders all hospitals to prepare for wartime casualties by 2026. And an AI threat detection tool pitched to police spurred debate over capability and civil liberty concerns. Let's begin today with the Second Amendment. On August 19th, the 10th Circuit blocked New Mexico's 7-day firearm purchase waiting period, signaling heightened scrutiny of waiting period laws and potential downstream effects in the 10th Circuit footprint. Separately, the 9th Circuit struck California's ammo background check regime as inconsistent with Bruin, removing per-sale checks statewide, of course absent further appeal. Ammunition availability remains constrained. Powders and primers are prioritized for military demand, raw material costs are elevated, and logistics remain tight, keeping retail prices high. Retailers report shorter forecasting horizons versus the pre-2020 norms, and manufacturers cite global conflicts and restricted nitrocellulose flows as drivers of sustained pressure. So a ammo shortage is continuing. It kind of began around the 2020 time, and now the latest constraint is that gunpowder supply. Let's shift now into government oversight. On September 2nd, the House Oversight Committee posted 33,295 pages tied to Jeffrey Epstein, including court filings, interviews, file images, and videos spanning from around 2000 to 2014. Preliminary reviews suggest under 1,000 pages are actually new and not previously released, and these are mainly those flight logs. The release also includes that, quote, raw jail footage with the earlier missing minute and about 2 additional hours of video. And we've got links to that video on graymanbriefing.com. The files were shared via public cloud folders. Google Drive and Dropbox were used as the host for these files, though, of course, much of that content, like I said, had already been circulated before. Looking now at major crime. In Minneapolis, Minnesota, on August 27th, a trans extremist conducted an attack during a school-wide mass at a Christian school and church, injuring 17 people, 3 adults, the rest children, and of course 2 children were killed. Authorities said the male suspect used at least 3 different pew-pews. An online video posted a few hours prior appears to show multiple pew-pews with inscriptions referencing prior such suspects, political and anti-religious statements, a target board with a religious image, and wooden planks or boards marked with hostile phrases. Handwritten pages visible in the video, signed by Robin M. Westman, 2002-2025, describe severe health concerns attributed to vaping, long-term mental distress, apologies to family, and references to carrying out a, quote, final act. Additional circulating images suggest the same individual wore female clothing, earrings, and hairstyles, and retained a notebook with an LGBT Defend Equality flag sticker. According to 2019 Dakota County court records, a legal name change from a male birth name to that female name noted that identification as a female. A nearby residence was searched. A vehicle believed to be associated with the individual was located at that scene, the scene being the school and the church. Mainstream media continues to censor the suspect's ideologies. While we can't obviously discuss it all in this format and on this platform, join at the Gray Man Briefing for more details. And the video you've been seeing in the background is the one we referenced that he posted hours prior. Let's shift now into civil unrest. Paid demonstrator operations in Washington, D.C. have surged. Requests were up about 400%. This is during that federal takeover of policing, with roughly 800 National Guard, 850 federal agents deployed. Anti-Trump and free speech protests in D.C. led to an arrest after a flag was set on fire under the park fire rules. Antifa-affiliated agitators in Brooklyn attempted to disrupt Crown Heights gatherings, but left after residents confronted them. Shia Muslim and pro-Palestinian marchers in Dearborn, Michigan, drew more than 40,000 for the Arba'in March. Extremist symbolism in Heath, Texas, involved a Nazi flag or multiple Nazi flags at Rockwall Heath High School. Police removed the flags and opened an investigation. Pro-Palestinian, anti-ICE, and jail-conditioned protesters in Chicago continued actions, including an August 21st anti-ICE riot where officers were assaulted. Pro-Palestinian anti-ICE movements continued in 40-plus states with recurring encampments and direct actions in cities including LA, Phoenix, Atlanta, New York City, and Houston. A Hamas-aligned direct action, which happened in Boston, included state house vandalism and 2 hoax IED devices in the Boston Common. A suspect tied by investigators to the direct action movement for Palestinian liberation was arrested. Far-left protesters in Austin, Texas, were arrested at the Texas House Chamber during a demonstration tied to Representative Nicole Collier and received a 1-year ban from the Capitol. An LGBT-aligned organizational dispute in Bergen County, New Jersey, saw Girl Scouts of Northern New Jersey remove a troop leader after that troop leader declined to participate in pride activities. They cited a conduct violation for her removal. And an anti-ICE extremist in Dallas, Texas, claimed to have a bomb at the ICE field office. It prompted a shelter-in-place until the scene was cleared and an arrest was made, with DHS noting rising threats against ICE facilities and, of course, personnel. Looking now at the Law and Order briefing, on June 2nd, Aaron Cohen announced Gideon, described as a 24/7 online monitoring tool using ontology-based AI to surface imminent threat language and route leads to law enforcement. So think Minority Report here. He claimed signups from multiple departments, including one agency with almost 3,000 officers, and he argues such systems could help prevent attacks. Independent reporting questioned whether Gideon exists beyond fundraising and marketing. Analysts compared it to prior predictive surveillance proposals, noting accuracy and bias risks. Civil liberty advocates warned of potential overreach into lawful speech, while supporters framed it as a way to accelerate interdiction. So similar actions are already taking place in the UK. Police are sent out to people based on free speech on social media. So this AI tool is designed to scan and scrub everything online, particularly social media, and find anything that it believes could be an indicator that that citizen may commit a crime in the future. And then it will dispatch police officers to their house. Looking now at global conflict, France's health ministry directed hospitals to prepare by March 2026 to treat large numbers of war wounded, including foreign soldiers. They're planning for 10,000 to 15,000 casualties over a 10 to 100-day period, and they're staging near ports and airports. Separately, in Berlin, Germany's defense leadership said that NATO would remain on alert during Russia's Zapad 2025 exercises, Officials emphasized no sign of an imminent attack, but urged readiness. The NATO Secretary General warned that a PRC, People's Republic of China, move on Taiwan could be paired with Russian actions to distract NATO in Europe. Particularly, the chief said that China would call up Russia and say, hey, go attack somewhere in Europe. And then China would invade Taiwan. The measures indicate a shift from contingency talks to concrete timelines for civil, military, medical integration and alliance postures. Meanwhile, in Beijing, China held a military parade in Tiananmen Square with Xi Jinping presiding and inspecting formations. The event showcased advanced systems, including hypersonic-capable missiles, drones, and large aerial flyovers. Officials said 26 foreign leaders attended. Confirmed on site were, of course, Vladimir Putin from Russia, Kim Jong-un from North Korea, and other major leaders from Iran, Belarus, and other countries hostile to the U.S. President Trump made a statement that the leaders were conspiring against the U.S. And finally, under the health and safety briefing, on August 27th, the FDA revoked emergency use authorizations and limited updated Charlie 19 needle-borne treatments to seniors and people with high-risk conditions. Healthy adults under 65 and healthy young children, according to the FDA, are ineligible absent off-label prescribing. By August 29th, CVS, the pharmacy, fully stopped offering these updated treatments in Massachusetts, Nevada, and New Mexico. They also require prescriptions in 13 states, not including D.C. Walgreens said it would offer the treatments only where permitted. The changes reflect a shift from broad emergency access to targeted eligibility with added gatekeeping via prescriptions. So unless you are in this category of being high risk or elderly, you will no longer be allowed to get that needle-borne treatment for Charlie 19. And that is it for this week's summary of recent developments. Remember, these briefings are delivered in real time to Gray Man Briefing subscribers, sent via the Telegram and Signal apps and via weekly emails. Please interact with this broadcast to help increase engagement and views. Thanks for listening as always. Remain aware, be vigilant, and stay safe.